Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
What the hell? Look what the cat dragged in. Hi.
I'm so tired. Moving is hard.
Tim moved house.
I did move house.
Since last we saw Tim, he has moved house.
As you can tell from my background.
Let's tell.
So
They left. Come back, dogs. Oh, there's one.
There's one.
Other
It's
dog,
keeping.
come back. Oh, you got that disgusting upside down guitar over there.
Excuse you?
It's upside down, Tim.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's a left-handed guitar.
There's no such thing.
Yeah, there is.
Nope. Just wrong. Like, I don't have like a left-handed trumpet.
So there's only one side for a drum. You don't need it.
Just move the bell to the other side. Just move the bell to the other side because my fingers. No. You just suck for a long time, and then eventually, after 10 years, something snaps inside you, and you can play a G chord, and that's learning. How did the move go otherwise? Pretty good.
It went well.
I know you're tired of shit, but
we hired movers to do most of it. So
yeah,
it's not terrible. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep for like 3 days.
Me neither. Because the kid must have known you were moving. They're like, no, Tim's not getting no rest, and neither do you. Neither do you, dumbass. You're staying up all night. She stayed up to about 3-4 o'clock, like 4 times since we've talked.
Oh damn.
For no reason. And then want to sleep till noon. I'm like, look, lady, growth spurts aside, you need to stop this. It's not right. Let's say hello to the people.
Hi, people.
Hey, people.
Hi, people.
Russell got in first. Hey, Russell. And Diz. And Kay. And Gina. And Gilly. Or Jilly. I think it's Chili. I did this before. Look at the trees. There's an echo on Tim's audio. Tim.
Yeah, there is. All right, hold on.
Tim, don't be echoing, all right? Let me look and make sure I don't have the stream open somewhere. Yeah, Tim's in a new location on a new mic, so thank you for telling us. Am I echoing or just Tim? How about the soundboard? Does the soundboard echo? Let's do a test.
Am I echoing now?
Mother froggers.
Yeah.
I should probably stop with the soundboard. I don't want people to actually respond. Okay, they're saying just Tim.
Okay, if it's back.
Okay. Tim is with us. Keep talking, Tim.
So yeah, it happens. Still echoing.
Maybe it's the screen share. Now keep talking.
I don't know what would be echoing. I have the same setup as I did before. Oh, I don't. I did hear an echo in my headphones for a while, and I don't hear it anymore.
You're saying no, still there.
No, still there.
You know what's weird? The time is off on the chat. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that is weird. Let me go into my mixer settings. Let's see if there's anything fucked up there. It stopped, apparently. Okay. Hey, it got fixed.
Or is the chat delayed?
No, they all say it's fine.
Okay.
So
it's the screen share.
Yeah.
It's making you echo now.
Minor technical difficulty, but it's fixed now.
Tim. Damn it.
So yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
I moved an hour away from my previous house, so moving takes an extra long time because I have to, there's still stuff in my old house I got to go get.
Yeah.
And it's 2 hours round trip.
Ugh.
So it's a slow process now. We have like another week to finish moving out before the new people move in.
And you can leave them a note telling them, look out for ...
And cover it in like fake blood. Tear it a little bit.
There. Just what's these bloody fingerprints mean, I wonder? Kay in the chat says, I'm left-handed, but I always played guitar righty. See, learning to play southpaw recently has really helped to loosen up my shoulder and correct some of the bad tense technique I developed over the years. Look, I don't need your look. I thought you were going to be on my side. I would not have started reading that had I known that you were going to be against me this whole time. I feel tricked.
Yeah, but I have my own room for podcasting now. I don't have to be in my other house. I was in the living room, and so like you could hear everything that was going on. Now I have my own room, and the dogs have to be in here with me. So if you hear barking or coughing or whining, those are dogs.
Farting.
Yeah, farting.
50% dog.
Guaranteed. 1/3 dog. There's 2 dogs in here.
Yeah. I'm no longer responsible for 100%. Speaking of being responsible for percentages, that was rough, even for me. Even for me.
You tried.
I'm a little drowsy. I'm not gonna front. Let's do this one. Or wait, is it this one? Yeah, this one. Bum ba bum. Our friends over at the Bulwark, where all the Republicans have fled because they refuse to be MAGA.
It's very funny that they've all gone to the Bulwark. Didn't it used to be like the Lincoln Project or some shit like that?
Yeah.
That they were all doing, and then the Lincoln Project got co-opted.
Yep. Them damn Tea Partiers that turned MAGA done ruin the Republicans. They're not respecting the business. But we were talking before the show went on about Elon, and if we covered it, and yes, me and Graham covered it extensively. If you missed that stream, I reorganized our homepage, so it's not like just like random shit. So it should be in some sort of order now. That makes sense. So here we go. Elon and his best friend, Scott Bessent.
Okay, let's get into the Trump side of the drama of the split, the Real Housewives split here in the White House. And this is this Wall Street Journal article. A lot of interesting stuff in there. Yeah. What's jumped out to you?
So article's fascinating. This is where we got the 50% genies, 50% boy ratio. In fact, there's another proposed ratio in there, which is 90% genius, 10% boy. I'll get your take on what the right ratio is after.
So this is from the Trump has described Musk to his aides as 50% genius, 50% according to the White House staffers who heard his comments. Another White House aide said they heard Trump call Musk 90% genius, 10% boy. The two have long discursive conversations over dinners at Trump's club, but Musk sometimes confuses Trump with his eccentric humor, White House officials said.
We have a super chat.
Oh, super chat.
After this,
$5 super chat from Kay. I'm definitely on team lefty should primarily play righty, but eventually learning a bit of both is also useful. Surprisingly useful.
Kay gonna be out here like Michelangelo Badio with the 4-neck guitar. We're here. Have you ever? I'll show. There's so much music in it, but I have to show it to you after. It is the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen in your life. It's like, oh, well, fuck me then. Like, why am I even trying? This guy conquered the guitar final boss, and now he's like the Hunter Sung Yoon of guitar.
To me, what stands out about this article, and I encourage people to read it, is that if and it's like almost in between lines, but it just hits you. It's like they basically let this dude Elon kind of like run amok, and he was doing things without telling anybody. Like he was cutting, across agencies without telling anybody, including the chief of staff. And I'm not really sure how that works. Like he's just like, you're fired, and like
If Elon walked into like Walmart and was like, "Yo, you're fired," and also, and he just came out of the break room all crazy and started firing people, no one would listen to him. Like, bitch, shut up. You don't work here. You're not my boss.
Yeah, like you're not the person in charge of my department. Go
You can't
away.
fire me, dog. I don't. And them emails and shit. Remember the emails? Tell me 5 things you did productively or whatever.
So I talked to a friend of a friend who was a government employee, and I asked them if they got that email, and she was like, "Yeah, I didn't fucking respond to it. Fuck that guy."
Like, who the fuck do you? I'm not just that sounds like a troll thing.
It is a troll thing. Justify your job. Give me 5 things you did this week right now. What'd you do? Tell me.
I don't answer to you. And I don't write down what I do.
That's it. I mean, it was just it must have been utter chaos. He went into a cabinet meeting and was just bitching about, the damage that was happening to Tesla, and somehow convinced Pam Bondi to put a ton of DOJ resources into protecting his own private company.
I'm glad we put all that money into Tesla. Oh, you know what? We love Tesla around here, don't we?
I mean, think about that for a second.
Your sounds aren't coming through, Mikey. If you played I Love Tesla, I didn't hear it.
I did. I'm sharing it on the other one because it's you know what? We're taking some echo, goddammit. I got to have it. I got to have it. There we go. It has to happen. Fucking, I've been soundboarding away over here. Damn it.
I love Tesla.
He got the...
And if this is going to fuck me up. I keep clicking on the fucking StreamYard to start the video. That's not how this works.
Actual attorney general to sort of refocus on his own private company. That's like deeply scandalous in a way. And then the Sam Altman announcement where he threw a hissy fit because we're going to do this AI deal with his arch nemesis. And he got so pissed off.
The good part's coming.
About it that I
was like, am I
the president had to intervene and delay the announcement and make sure that Sam Altman wasn't involved in it. Again, I know we're sort of callous to this, but that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me that you can have an individual with such clear conflicts of interest absolutely re-engineer government policy around his own hissy fits and bottom line. And he did that repeatedly.
The thing that struck me, well, on that part, did you see the exchange with the...
And Tim, what do you think the fallout of for the Republicans, let's say, for letting an Elon in? Because clearly no one liked his ass, but they let him do it.
I mean, I think the fallout's going to be that they're going to be extra fucked in the midterms. It's going to come out, and it's already coming out, that Elon spent more money than he saved. And that he fired all these people for no reason, and all that DEI stuff that they were trying to get rid of, was for naught. They didn't save any money. They spent more money, and Elon just used it to fuck around until he got bored.
Yeah. Ooh, there you go. Is that did you? That's a good idea. Did you do that?
Did I do what?
Did you mute the screen?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was muting it while I was talking.
Oh, look at Tim.
That was problem solving. It's called problem solving.
Will they rehire those workers? Yeah, a lot of times, yeah. Because they weren't allowed to be fired technically. Yeah. So they were like, you can go back.
A lot of those so the friend who I was talking to was also one of those temporary government employees, like the ones who were
probationary.
Probationary, they fire them every 6 months, or they contract to rehire them or whatever. Yeah. And she was like, yeah, people get laid off all the time, but then they get rehired when it becomes the busy season again. She worked for the SBA, and the SBA has a busy season for loans and dealing with businesses and stuff like that. So small
business administration. That's what it stands for.
So sorry,
figure it out the whole super.
Yeah. I forget who's in charge of it now, but the last Trump term, Linda McMahon was in charge of the Small Business Administration.
Oh my God.
Because, she owned a small business. And So they have like a busy season around the same time that tax season is. So she would always get rehired around like January and then let go around June. And it was like a part-time job almost for her. And there are so many federal employees that have that sort of position, especially in the post office. Like a lot of postal employees are probationary. So those people are going to get rehired because the government's going to need them. And some of those people were fired illegally. So yeah, they are going to get rehired at some point.
I would have been, sir, you don't work here anymore. Bitch, shut up. I'm not going nowhere. I just clocked in.
No.
Like that confrontation with him and Besant that had been previously reported on. There's some more details. Scott Besant apparently called him out in front of Trump and said, "You promised us $1 trillion in cuts, and now you're at like $100 billion, and nobody can find anything. What are you doing?" And that's when Elon got physical. It's a short subject.
And this is from Steve Bannon.
So did Besant give him the black eye? Is that what we're going with?
That's what I'm thinking. He gave me
because like a kid couldn't have given him a black eye like that. Mikey, you have a child. Have you ever told your child, punch me in the face as hard as you can?
If she did that, it wouldn't, like, she probably couldn't get my glasses off my face. Like, she's not coordinated for a punch. If he would have, this is how you know it's a lie, and this is how you know he don't hang out with his kids. The easiest excuse would be that X headbutt me.
Yes,
because kids headbutt you all the time because they swing those little sledgehammers around like they're fucking not made out of bone, which is like metal and carbon. You know what I mean? Like there's some calcium in that bitch. Calcium is a metal, damn it. Them little motherfuckers' heads hurt. And she'll be getting the like, ha 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 ha. And then she'll go like, and I'm looking down and I'm tickling you. Wham! You're like, oh shit. Oh my God. Damn. No, it's okay, bro. It's like, fucker, fatted my lip up. I bit through that motherfucker. Like a kid's head is way more plausible to get a black eye from. No 5-year-old blacked your eye with their little, I mean, their arms are like.
Yeah, they just got little meaty little sausage hands, right? There's no way they're.
A couple of fingers is the strength inside of a 5-year-old's arm. They're mostly head still. They're still in the growing into their bodies. So, yeah, I don't think a 5-year-old punched you hard enough to give you a fucking black eye.
But let's say a full-grown man, the Secretary of the Treasury.
Perhaps he's big and strong enough.
With them, yeah, that's Elon started to like get up in his grill, like they're gonna have a man fight. A
man fight.
Like that again. It just shows a person that's totally like off.
I would absolutely pay to see that.
Yeah, look at the truth says Stephen Miller is left-handed and Elon stole his wife. But that would just turn him on. Like, this is the greatest cucking of his life. He's like, yes, take my wife away from me. they're into this stuff.
and then
they love the humiliation of it all.
Trump, and that leads us back to also the lead of the journal story is that
that picture is so funny. Hold on.
And Trump, and that leads us back to the
it's like everyone out of focus is in reality, and then there's just Elon just over there, just like, what a handsome mirror.
We got another super chat. Oh, sorry, I muted the window. No. Oh. Here you go. Your son.
My air horns. Alistair Kerr, 5 precious pounds. Question: will they get reimbursed for lost income, seeing they were fired illegally, guys? Yes.
Yeah, they're probably going to get back pay, retroactive pay for not. Yeah.
So we saved literally nothing because we're still going to have to pay them anyway. And a lot of those people are in fucking unions. So it's like, all right, yeah, thank you. Now the union is going to negotiate for everything.
Yeah,
they will be negotiating for the house because the government is not acting in good faith. So now the government is going to have to, like, I mean, I guess it's if they all get their jobs back and then they get better job security and rights because they use this as leverage, which they should. Then I'm all for it. go for it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's going to wash out in the courts, and part of it already has. So they're most likely they'll be rehired with back pay.
Story is that Trump basically like asking other officials internally, like, was all Elon did bullshit? Was it all bullshit?
Yeah.
Like, so.
Oh.
That's a real shame.
Was it all bullshit? Trump asked. According to administration officials, wondering whether Musk could have ever come close to the cuts he promised to carry out through the Department of Government Efficiency. Oh my goodness, Elon lied again.
Oh no.
Like, how many times does this guy have to fucking steal your wallet before you're like, oh, well, he didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. Oh, there you go. You got it.
We both pressed it.
You pressed it.
£5 Tim Ballum. I want to see Trump take the postal inspection service, or take on the postal inspection service. It will not end well for him. It won't.
Man.
Listen, Trump has...
Remember anthrax?
Oh my God. Here's the problem. None of these people know anything about government.
Correct.
Except for like Besant and a few select people who Trump has kept in government who have already been in government, right? Besant, he's not in government, but he's smart enough to know things.
Yeah, he's been around.
But Linda McMahon, Elon Musk, fucking Pete Hegseth, Pam Bondi,
Cash Patel.
Oh yeah, Cash Pineapple.
Oh yes, Cashmere Pineapple.
They know nothing about how government runs.
Nope.
Not one. There's not a public administration degree among them. And this is the problem, is they're just going around breaking stuff, not realizing that they can't go around breaking stuff.
It's like, what do they think next year is going to be?
Right.
Because they won't have a need to be anywhere.
Actually, Mikey, I have an idea for like a deep dive on some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wrote a 30-page paper on comparing Trump's first 100 days in this term to his last term. Mm-hmm. And I think I want to go through that with you and then talk about how quickly the Trump administration is just falling apart.
Yeah.
Because it is. It's coming apart at the seams.
And it's in easily preventable ways. Like the fact that they have no budgets for any of the departments.
Yeah.
That show, like, you don't know how it works. Like, and then like, well, we're going to take the old budget and we're just going to cut 15% out of it. What does that even mean?
Right.
What is that? Did you even have 15% to cut? But they're just walking into the room. I'm cutting half. And if I get, all right, 15 I'll have to do. Like, what is wrong with y'all?
Or like with the education department, Trump signed an executive order saying, well, we don't have an education department anymore. But then the Supreme Court said, you kind of have to, because Congress thing. That's a Congress thing. Or the tariffs. The tariffs is technically a Congress thing.
Also a Congress thing. Like, honestly, if I was Walmart or something like that, I'd tell them, kiss my ass. I'm not paying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, send it over. I'm not paying it.
He's having a literal meltdown right now, this very moment, over the EU not making a trade deal with him by tomorrow so that his 50% tariffs on, was it like metals and aluminum?
Yeah.
Doesn't go into effect because he knows that the courts are going to rule against him.
Oh, he announced that in Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh, of all places. Yeah, Pittsburgh, you guys are going to be coughing up weird shit before you know it. We're going to be smelting, and those fumes are going into your kids' lungs. Just you wait. It's going to be fantastic. Like, I think all of like the production of some of like our raw materials, like logging, there needs to be some logging. Farming, we need to do some farming. Metalworks, yeah, we need some of this stuff. But to take away everyone's health care and then to be like, hey, putting your ass back in the smelt works. It's like, this is not a positive for me. I don't want to do that. I would rather have healthcare in my office job. But I guess go Steelers. I don't know what you want me to do about this.
Well, you also can't onshore 100% of that stuff.
Sure you can.
You can't. It's impossible. We live in a global economy. You can't just be like, well, all of our trees are going to be cut in America now.
Yeah. We'll just start logging everything.
Right. Or like all of our metals are going to be made by U.S. Steel, which is now merged with a Japanese company. So it's no longer just U.S. Steel.
Nippon Steel.
And Trump approved that merger.
Listen, Canada has been taking the piss for too long. All this time letting the fentanyl in, because that's what the tariffs are for, right? No.
Yeah, the fentanyl.
No. Trende Aragua, that was letting no, that was the other thing. Who knows what the tariffs are for? Because everybody needs to come to the table. That's right. That's what they told me.
Oh, yeah.
No. It's a bargaining chip.
It's because the other countries are taking advantage of us.
Aha, the trade deficit. That's right. It was the trade deficit. That's what was really holding us back. Was the fact that other people were selling us things and we were buying them. That can't happen here.
No, we can't have free trade with other countries. How dare they? How dare you do free trade?
Taco, that's why. Taco Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. Oh, I need to get the LeBron James Taco Tuesday on the soundboard.
By the way, I told Mikey, but I didn't tell everyone else. Not this weekend, but next weekend. On June 14th, there's a nationwide protest day. It's called No King's Day. And I will be participating in a protest. I want the chat to come up with a sign for me.
Ooh.
So super chat me a sign.
I'm with it.
And I will take pictures of me with the sign at the protest.
Disney Chat says there are bailouts for farmers in the so-called big beautiful whatever the fuck he wants to call it.
Oh, the big beautiful bill.
You know, it's
Triple B.
It's funny that he's putting those in there. You know, it's funny that that's getting slid in there. Why won't the farmers succeed? Do you think? Maybe your fucking trade war. Your completely unnecessary trade war. I really helped the farmers after you took all their crops away.
Right. Yeah.
And then we use those crops to make fucking aid for people so that they could eat. And then you got that shit sitting in a warehouse rotting.
Also, you took away all their work. You deported all their workers.
This was a great idea. Whose idea was it to bring this guy in?
Jeez, it was, the part of the country that doesn't like brown people.
Speaking of brown people.
To Pakistan, where a young Pakistani TikTok influencer was brutally murdered for rejecting a man who had repeatedly contacted her online. Sana Yusuf, who has just turned 17 last week, was shot dead inside her home in Islamabad on Monday. Islamabad police have confirmed the arrest of a 22-year-old man in connection with her murder.
So let me tell you something. I'm getting real sick of you nerds who can't get a fucking date, abusing women and threatening them because you see them in your timeline. Let me tell you something about how the internet works after this message. K with the $5 super chat.
Are these my sign ideas?
Ooh, okay.
Big beautiful bill is less than Build Back Better.
Is triple less than.
Triple less than Beats Bears Battlestar Galactica. 5 times less than Beach Blonde Badly Built Butch Body.
I need that on the soundboard still. I keep forgetting it. I need to make. All right, I'm gonna make a note. Here, let me the thing. 6 B's Jasmine Crockett get.
Oh, we got another one.
Ooh,
from Alistarm. Picture of Trump baby throwing shite from nappy. I'm not a good drawer. I might have to print that out from the internet.
I think you should draw it.
I'm
not.
not
What
a good
is
drawer.
this?
But I can Photoshop.
Like, what is it? A house or a giraffe?
It kind of looks like an airplane.
I think it's upside down. Rotate it clockwise. Thank you. All right, I did make the note. 6 B's. I need an apostrophe. 6 B's. Jasmine Crockett, get sound. I will do that today. All right, but this is how the internet works. Motherfuckers are not here for your personal gratification or enjoyment. Me and Tim are here because we feel like the earth needs to know what's happening to it before it blows up.
That's
true.
It. That is true.
We're not here to find mates or partners. And if you wanted us to be your mate, you're too late. You missed your shot. It's too late. The doors are closed. Everyone online is off limits. If they're already streaming, you missed your shot. Go find somebody at a bookstore, at a coffee house, at the bowling alley, wherever you like to spend your free time. But stop trying to treat everybody on your timeline like a fucking menu. And that's the one thing I hate about dating apps. They kind of really turn everybody into like the Uber Eats of people. No. People are people. You can't just figure shit out by swiping and shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of like weird democratization of the internet, like you said, with dating sites or I found like Indeed.
Yeah.
Job hunting has become like streamlined and AI'd and democratized, where everyone is applying for the same jobs and you're just getting screened out of everything unless your resume is fucking perfect. Unless you know all the right words to put in there so the algorithm actually catches your shit.
So the bot can read it.
Right. And it's, I didn't like the you have to show up everywhere with your resume and just hand them out to people version of job hunting. But I also don't like the Indeed. It's so impersonal that you're just sending your resume to a fucking bot.
Yeah. Keyword readers is right.
Yeah. Like I feel like our generation is caught in this weird sort of fucking bubble where like our parents are like, well, just go there with your resume and say hi and dress in a suit. Right. And the people that are younger than us are just like, send your resume to a million people on the internet. It's fine.
Right. Just spam that shit out. Chum the waters. He was pissed at the Trump baby blimp at London protest. So maybe it's maybe trigger people again.
I mean, listen, I might make more than one sign.
I was trying to laugh and I had to sneeze. Oh. They are not nerds. They are dorks.
Questionable Obscenity says, they are not nerds. They are dorks. Check the Venn.
Oh, wait. I got one.
Oh, sorry. You muted. There you go.
No.
I'm going to need you to be drug tested.
We're going to have to test the Venn. What is the nerd dork difference? Nerds are smart, right? Or is that geeks? I think geeks geeks are the formula ones. Nerds are like the
nerds are like the book smarts, right?
Dorks, goobers, dinguses. Yeah, we do need to like put up some Jordan Peterson-esque fucking definitions here so we can get like the nice like the circle of fifths of geekdom.
That sounds like some good member content.
Put that on a shirt. There's geeks and there's nerds and there's dorks.
And then there's weebs.
Weebs are probably nerds, right?
Some kind of nerd, yeah. An anime.
Yeah, that's
nerd,
what
right?
we'll do. The three things,
and then branch them out.
Yeah, well, we'll put like the 3 circles, and then we'll be putting the little titles in there, and then the middle one will just be like you. The typical binster is all 3, and that's why they're the best.
The suspect has been persistently
Dweeps.
That is good.
trying to contact Asana online and had been seen loitering outside her residence for several hours.
So then why didn't somebody do something? What the fuck?
Police chief has labeled the incident as a gruesome and cold-blooded murder. After being shot twice at point-blank range, Sana Yusuf died on the spot. Following her death, her body has since been transferred to the Pakistan Institute of Medical Sciences for a post-mortem examination. Sana Yusuf was a popular TikTok content creator with over 1 million followers across her social media platforms.
And we'll wait and see for the outcry from the right about how sad they are that this young lady was taken from us so early. I'm sure that they're going to say something.
They'll be so upset.
There'll be marches, and they'll be like, we need to protect our star. Like, they're totally going to do that. But they won't. Because
I got one. I got one for you, Mikey. I got one for you, Mikey.
Get one for me.
Let's see.
Circle of Fist, Music Geek Spotlight. Damn it! I revealed myself.
Bam.
After the town says a high schooler was detained by ICE on Saturday. His family identifies him as Marcelo Gomez. Free Marcelo! Free Marcelo is the chant at Milford Town Hall. Free Marcelo! More than 500 people came to rally for the release of 18-year-old Marcelo Gomez. People in the car say the Milford High School junior was detained by ICE agents on his way to volleyball practice Saturday morning.
I was also being interrogated by ICE officers.
Iago Sampaio told us he was in the same car as Marcelo.
If I was a year older, I would have been in the back of the car with my friend.
Gomez's family says he came to...
How fucked up is that?
They just got done dodging school shootings, and now they got to worry about this.
Like, the kid was going to volleyball practice.
That's, you know, all the criminals play volleyball. All that spiking and setting. Yeah.
And they only, so I'm sure the report will go through it, but they said that they were going after the kid's dad, and they just stopped the car because it wasn't registered to him. It was registered to his dad. But, like, I don't know, man. Like,
no, that was random. That was a random pickup.
Yeah.
They saw some racist white dudes in a fucking SUV laying in wait, saw them at an intersection, and then went after them. It had nothing to do with the fucking dad. That sounds like a cover up to me.
They could have, if they wanted to get the kid's dad, they could have just showed up to his house.
Yes. Yes. The honor roll student.
Yes. Hardened criminal.
To the U.S. from Brazil at age 5 and settled in Milford. Relatives say Marcelo was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
They don't wait for him. No, they looking for somebody else.
I don't see how a kid en route to volleyball practice who's an honors student, who's a musician in the high school band, that kid's not a threat to law and order.
Marcelo was supposed to play in the Milford High band at graduation Sunday. After getting their diplomas, Milford High graduates marched to the rally for Marcelo.
It's absolutely incredible that the community can come together like this. He's an amazing person and he deserves the world, and this is it.
He's like a brother to me, and this is so disappointing that I have to see this happen for him to get out. He's a great human being. He never did anything, so I don't understand why we're going through all this, especially on a day like this where we graduated. Yeah.
It is unclear where ICE is holding Marcelo Gomez. We have reached out to ICE about that information. Family says he came to the U.S. from the town says a high schooler.
Oh, God. Okay.
Oh, God. Just press all the buttons, I guess.
All the buttons. It's... I forgot what we were talking about now. Where was the video at? Go back to where we were. It'll trigger it.
March to the rally for Marcelo.
It's absolutely incredible that the community can come together like this. He's an amazing person and he deserves the world, and this is it.
He's like a brother to me, and this is so disappointing that I have to see this happen for him to get out. He's a great human being. He never did anything, so I don't understand why we're going through all this, especially on a day like this where we graduated. Yeah.
It is unclear where ICE is holding Marcelo Gomez.
I remember. A couple of things. McKinnon, the volleyball team has the same danger level as the Girl Scouts of America. You don't fuck with them. But a lot of the bullshit, 3-card money that they're playing with these people is they keep transferring them to MAGA court districts. So that's why they keep shipping them down to like Louisiana and Texas. They want to get them out of the jurisdiction. I mean, and more importantly, where your legal representation is licensed.
Right. I've heard and after this report, I guess, that he's still in Massachusetts and he's in a detention center there, but they're transferring him to a different detention center in Massachusetts because the one he's currently in doesn't have any beds.
They didn't plan any of this.
No.
Any of this.
We have reached out to ICE about that information, but have not heard back. In Milford, I'm Ted Wayman, WCVB, News Center 5.
WCVB.
Thanks, Ted Wayman. Doing some good. He's got the branded sweater vest on, the fleece.
He's got the hair.
He's ready to do good work.
All right. So yeah, horrible ICE continuing to just be assholes.
Yeah. And for what? Like, what did you? Well, like, did you?
So apparently,
what is he doing that he needs to be removed because he's not a danger. He's obviously contributing to the society. What is the problem?
Yeah, they said that they were going to go after the criminals first. This kid is like
pristine as the driven snow.
Yeah, I think it was his mom on the news. She did an interview and she said like he's the kind of kid that like you would want your teenager to be. Like,
right.
He's in the band, he goes to church, he's like in the church choir or the church band, like he's never done anything to anyone. And when he was originally detained, there were 2 other kids in the car with him. One of them you saw in that clip. And they both just got like left on the side of the road because they were under 18. But if they were 18 or older, they probably would have been detained as well.
So, I mean, like, even if they thought, hey, this guy needs to go in, those are minors in the car. And this is what happens when you have fucking Dog the Bounty Hunter out there trying to fucking, legislate immigration law. These are not trained fucking people. These are shitbag cops that can't fucking work anywhere.
Yeah.
Who are taking on this cash bounty hunter fucking job. That was it, $42,000 they're promising as a bonus for each ICE agent. 42 grand. So they don't give a fuck who and what they have to do. They probably shuffle them about throughout the states so they don't know where they are or who they're supposed to get, which is also very dangerous. You shouldn't be shuffling people about jurisdictions and all that stuff. You should know the community that you're trying to enforce the law in, so you don't make stupid mistakes like, I don't know, grabbing the most innocent kid possible,
right?
And trying to get them deported. And the thing is, like, it's okay. He's Brazilian. He's Brazilian. So
yeah.
What now? He has nothing to do with anything that you're trying to like do. Like, what is this?
And he's one of those people. He's one of those people who it wasn't his choice to come to America. He was brought here.
Yep.
At 5 years old, like he didn't have any agency. So
performative cruelty.
Yeah, I mean that's all it is. They're deporting fewer people than Biden deported. And fewer people than Obama deported. So it's performative cruelty. They're just trying to do it so that people can see them doing it. And one of the kids that was in the car said that like you couldn't see the guy's face. All you could see was their eyes. They were wearing masks and hoods, and they're just trying to scare the shit out of people.
And here's the thing. So let's say I'm on the phone with my wife and she's driving home from work. She gets pulled over by one of these ICE agents and they want, and then they just take her. Right. If they just take her, then how am I supposed, let's do this. There we go. I think it's doing it for me now. The sound thing. But let's just say she gets no, you're good. I muted it because now I'm talking, you're sharing.
Oh, okay.
I did what you were doing. But who's to say it's actually ICE? Who fucking knows who any of these people are? You have masked dudes in unmarked cars grabbing people off the street. I hope, just a gang of white dudes doesn't just pretend to be ICE and snatch people off snatch them off the curb. Who knows? No one knows who these people are. There's no fucking accountability. So again, going into areas that you are not familiar and trying to disappear folk is not a good idea, because there will be copycats trying to impersonate cops, trying to do this, and they're going to get fucking dealt with. It would behoove everybody if they just gave them some uniforms and they need to uncover their face. If you don't want them to be able to cover their face at a fucking college campus, but these assholes can take away, people's freedoms and they can just stay masked. Bullshit.
Right. Yeah.
Name and badge number, pig.
Yeah. So.
For the ICE agents.
Well, I got another one here for you. This one's a bit more silly.
Former commissioner of mine wears all black and a CIA hat daily. Jesus.
It's just letting those fucking people, who have power trips. That's all it is a power trip. You can just go out there dressed in a mask and pretend to arrest people. Anyway, FEMA.
As the agency's new acting head told them he previously didn't know the U.S. actually has a hurricane season. He said this at a briefing just yesterday. According to multiple sources, some thought the remark was a joke, but others said it raised very serious concerns about the acting administrator's experience. CNN's Gabe Cohn has been covering the story for us. He's joining us here in the situation where more concern is already rising over FEMA's preparedness. How are federal officials responding?
Yeah, and Wolf, as you mentioned, to be clear, there were plenty of FEMA staffers who heard this yesterday on this briefing call and thought this must be a joke. And that is what the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees FEMA, has said it was. They told me, quote, FEMA is laser focused on disaster response and protecting the American people. But I also spoke with some FEMA personnel who were inside that briefing yesterday who couldn't really tell if David Richardson, FEMA's new acting administrator, was kidding around or if he was essentially saying that he was pretty unfamiliar with hurricane season before taking this new job last month. You may remember when he was put in charge last month by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, he had no prior experience managing natural disasters. He comes from the Countering Weapons of Mass Destruction Office at DHS. And this has just raised red flags among FEMA staff about the lack of experience at the top as hurricane season is now underway and who's going to be making those decisions with what information when lives need to be saved and potentially communities need to be preserved during these catastrophic storms.
He wasn't joking. It's obviously very serious. And it underscores his lack of experience in dealing with these kinds.
So we talked about this a month ago, where FEMA was like, "We're not prepared. We're not ready. We're not ready. We're not ready. We need to get ready." I'm saying things publicly because I need things to get ready right now. We got to get ready right now. They don't give us this is what we're trying to explain to Republicans. This is not a Democrat thing. This is a country thing. This is an American thing. These people are inadequate. They cannot do the job. And if you continue to support an administration that is actively trying to harm you, so instead of building up sandbags, and doing all the stuff that FEMA does, to prevent the worst things from happening, it's just nothing's going to happen. You're not even going to get warned if the tornado is ripping through or if the flash flood happens. They're not even warning anymore.
I mean, yeah, between that and all the cuts at NOAA, you're not going to, All right, so here's David Richardson's wiki. He graduated from Harding University, which is a private Christian university, with a degree in biology. So that's worthless.
He looks like a numpty one brain cells running error 404. Page not found.
He has. He was in the United States Marine Corps. He was commanding units in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Africa.
Known for their hurricanes.
He taught history at Georgetown University.
So he should remember the hurricanes of the past.
And he became Assistant Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security and Countering Weapons of Mass Destruction before he was FEMA Secretary.
He knows about mass destruction.
I don't see anything about emergency management. I don't see anything about project management. I don't see anything about disaster response.
Can he change the filter on a sump pump? Like, can he do anything? Anything remotely close to what his job is.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Like, this is this person's full-time job. Right? Like, this is what he's supposed to be doing all day. And he has no, like, imagine. I fucking took you from whatever job you were doing, and now you are a full-time ballerina coach. What would you even do? The first, 2 weeks, you just have to learn what ballet
I'd have to read a book or something. Like,
they're not even doing that. They're just like, all right, let's just start cutting some shit now that you're here. Hey, what's up, Frank? Come on in. Yeah, we're just cutting in here. Like, there's not even a plan to do the job that they're being given, even if they don't know how to do it. They're not even like, all right, let me rise to the occasion.
It's so funny. This report has already made it onto his Wikipedia page. It says in June, Reuters reported that Richardson had said that he was unaware that the U.S. had a hurricane season. The Department of Homeland Security said he was joking. Hours later, the Wall Street Journal reported that Richardson had only recently learned of the Atlantic hurricane season and that the agency was reverting to its previous year's hurricane plan. That's what they're doing. They're saying, whatever we did last year, let's do it this year.
We'll just do that again because I have no idea how to make one of these.
He wrote a book called War Story, which is a novel partially written from the perspective of an Iraqi colonel. So there's his qualifications for FEMA director.
That's he has no idea.
He doesn't. He had no idea that we had a hurricane season. I know we had I live in an area where hurricane season happens.
I mean, come on.
We get hurricanes. I mean, we
You
got
the effects of the hurricane.
No, we got Hurricane Sandy.
Pulling Sandy out of your ass.
We don't get hurricanes every year, but every couple of years, something fucking shoots up the East Coast and fucks us up real hard.
I got to get off that coastline, man. You got to get up here in the high plains like us upper crust over here in Illinois. It's the best, man. Being 500 feet above sea level is nice.
Hurricane Sandy was so bad that Barack Obama and Chris Christie hugged over it.
That's true. That is true. And you don't see that. You don't see that happening every day.
But yeah, so the East Coast, let's say from Florida all the way up to fucking, I would say Massachusetts is probably the furthest hurricanes go. Every year there has to be a plan for the East Coast and the West Coast and the Gulf of Mexico. And FEMA is in charge of all of that. There's towns in fucking North Carolina from last year's hurricane season that haven't gotten the FEMA response yet. And they're getting pissed about it.
Yeah. They didn't get rebuilt last time.
Right.
Or they're not finished rebuilding from last time.
They're still fucking rubble.
Right.
Because disaster response has been halted under Trump. And not to mention all the states in like the Midwest and the South that have been destroyed by this rather harsh tornado season.
Yeah.
And now all these states are going to ask for money from FEMA, and they don't have a plan for any of it.
Oh, the plan is not to give them anything.
Right.
That is the plan. The plan is to keep the money.
Yeah, to all these red states who voted for Trump, they're not going to get anything.
You know, I just realized something. You know how Trump likes to brag about everything?
Yeah.
Have we seen a chart showing how much the deficit has gone down?
No.
You know, they're not really saying where that money's going, are they?
They're not.
I have no illusions that money is even touching that fucking deficit. They are pocketing whatever they're saving. They are keeping that shit.
Here's the actual grift. There is no savings happening.
Correct.
They are cutting taxes or keeping the same level of tax cuts in most cases, and trying to cut spending. However, they cannot cut spending as much as they want to, because some of that spending is mandatory. It is not discretionary. Social Security is not discretionary spending. It's mandatory. Debt service is mandatory. Medicare is mandatory. That's why they're going after Medicaid, because it's technically discretionary spending.
Right.
So, and that's why they're going after like food stamps and all that other stuff, because they can fuck with discretionary spending. At the same time, they're giving the military an extra $150 billion for no reason. They didn't even ask for that money.
We're not even at war with anyone. We're still not at war with anyone.
So
I mean, they've been increasing the security, like the defense budget every fucking year after year. We haven't been at war for fucking 15 years, dude.
We have deserts full of airplanes and tanks that are just never going to be used.
No, out there dry rotting, ruining all the seals.
But we gotta feed the military industrial complex.
My gaskets.
So, more money to the military for bridges to nowhere, for development that's never going to happen. Lockheed Martin and fucking all these other companies are just going to get billions and billions of dollars to make airplanes that just randomly light on fire when they fly. And
remember when the plug came out on that plane and then the door flew off mid-flight, like going to Alaska or some shit?
Or Pete Hegseth is gonna fucking lose him in the ocean somewhere.
Oh my! Just dunk them in there like fucking sugar cubes. Like we got F-16s to just fucking toss in the ocean. Maybe build a reef out of it. Like fuck me. Come on, man. Those things are expensive. You got to tie them down, man. You got to tie them down. Progress Only in the chat says, and remember in September after the hurricane, the day after it swept through, I was at a Recovering from Religions event in Virginia. They claimed Biden was purposely blocking relief. And then they tried to go after the individual lady from FEMA who put on a report, hey, I was at this house and they fucking threatened to shoot me, so don't come over here.
Well, and that's the thing that people don't realize, is that when you become afraid of government, when you become angry at government, when you have negative thoughts towards government, stuff like that happens. When, like, I was a census enumerator. I went around and conducted the census for people back in 2010. And we were trained, like, if someone threatens you, just to, like, leave. Like, don't. Yeah. But it's the census is important. It's not as important as disaster relief is. But the census is important for figuring out, like, what kind of funding your state's supposed to get, or what kind of education funding you get. You know, and especially for, like, I don't know how the census is going to happen in 2030, because you're supposed to count everyone, citizen or not.
Right.
You're not supposed to ask if they're a citizen, but you're supposed to count everyone who's in the household. Imagine how underreported that's going to be.
We're going to lose, our population's going to drop by like fucking 20 million.
Yeah, because people are going to be too afraid to answer the door.
Yep.
Or pick up the phone.
Yep.
So it's the same thing with like disaster relief. If you're
he'll be gone by then. He'll be gone by then.
You hope. You wish.
Either he will or I will.
One of us will be gone by then.
One of us will be gone by then.
But I mean, technically, he's going to be in charge of setting up the census, because, you know, he's not going to be out of there till what, January 2029.
Yeah.
So he's going to have a big hand in preparing the census.
Kate Smith says that's because Musk and Thiel have contracts with the military. They sure do.
And that's the other thing, right? They are
sure, and that didn't get cut. Doge found all this fraud, waste, and abuse. But
remember
the Department of Defense, who hasn't passed an audit in 7 audits, is A-okay. And yes, please give them another $100 billion. Never mind my contracts. I didn't find those to be wasteful.
Am I really informing you? No, I'm not. I'm misleading.
Do you remember back in the early days of this administration 2 months ago when they were like, oh, yeah, everyone will get a dividend check of $5,000 after all the Doge savings? They stopped talking about that real quick.
Hey, remember when homeboy from Facebook was like, just you wait till that check comes. Just you wait till that check comes. I fucking told you, dog. Ain't no fucking check coming. What are you, crazy? These motherfuckers have been grifting and stealing money their entire lives. And now all of a sudden, once they get their hands on the biggest treasure chest they could ever find, they're supposed to like undo the Smaug thinking that they have and just be like, you know what? You take the big half. Like, nah, dog, that is not how they act.
That is not going to happen.
You are a fool and they have deceived you. But hey, I'm dem washed, remember?
Yeah.
Wait till those checks get into your bank account, Mr. Gem Washed. Okay.
Yeah,
I waited.
Mikey, we're fucking blue pilled. We're not gonna, we don't know.
I don't even like them. I'm not trying to be on their side, but these motherfuckers is wrong also.
How can you possibly be on the side of the Trump administration at this point? Where they have done everything. They have done everything to damage every part of this country as much as they can just to take all the money and the power.
But they're doing it to hurt other people, not me.
Right. But it's going to eventually end up on your front door.
You're not going to tell me how I'm going to feel. We're going to be feeling really strong.
No, yeah, you don't have any cards.
I'm not playing cards.
Not respecting the business.
But I need to put I'm not playing cards. Oh, we should we need a Zelensky shirt.
Yeah, we need a Zelensky shirt. I'm not playing cards.
Maybe him like overlooking like a royal flush. You know.
But
I'm not playing cards. I'm winning cards.
you have departments of the government that are burning through their budget faster than they're supposed to. You have Kristi Noem is going to be out of money in a month.
Yes.
And she's supposed to have money until September.
She's probably already.
Yeah, she might be already out of money.
Yeah.
But
Elon's not going to foot the bill for everything now.
The FBI is probably going to run out of money because they're putting at least a third of their resources into immigration enforcement. That's something that's not being talked about. Cash Pineapple directed every FBI agent to spend at least a third of their time on immigration enforcement, which is taking away resources from other areas where the FBI should actually be doing, like defending Christians from cops.
I need my really embarrassingly rude sign. But Tim, I don't know why you would even say something like that. There's nothing the FBI should be doing right now. They're not busy.
They're definitely not busy.
What's going on with my internet here? Got too many windows open? What's going on?
You might have too many windows open.
It's not more than usual. I usually have like 50. This is like 3.
It's the FBI.
Seriously, man. Like, y'all don't want me to talk about it? I'm talking about it.
Weekend's assault is just the latest in an alarming rise of anti-Semitic incidents across the United States. According to the Anti-Nation League, there were more than...
So, I'm going to let this play for a second. And then I'm going to ask you guys, like, there's a now this is CNN. They are, the biggest left or center or whatever. They're mainstream media. They get big money. They got big donors, big advertisers. There is something so fucking crazily wrong with all of this whole segment, but I'm gonna let it rock for like 30 seconds. Googleese, thank you, Googleese. Mr. Famine, you are one. Doge check has shipped. You may also be interested in unicorns and Bigfoot's autograph. 4-leaf clover. That's funny. But there's one very fucking obviously wrong thing with this whole fucking thing. And you got, I don't know, fucking $300,000-$400,000 worth of college education on the screen right here. And I'll give it about 30 seconds and y'all let me know if you catch it.
9,000 last year. In 2014, there were fewer than 1,000. That is a tenfold increase in the last 10 years. There's no question that if we were seeing what we've seen over the last several months, for Josh Shapiro's house being firebombed, you have this incident, another in which 2 individuals who worked at the Jewish embassy were shot basically at point blank. This would be considered a 5-alarm fire of a problem that we have in this country, Bill. I mean,
okay. Tim, did you catch it?
I think I did.
Let's see if the chat caught it. All right, chat. They've already made the error. They've already made the error. It happened already. So I'll give it. Let's stall here for a second. Let it. Hey, Kev. Fine finisher, $2.22. Hail Mikey and Tim, and hail Bigfoot's autograph. The Shack Squatch. But the Muslim person Tesco, I know. Let's just I pulled this to the side. Semite, a member of any peoples who speak or spoke a Semitic language, including, in particular, the Jews and Arabs. So all this anti-Muslim Islamophobic shit should technically count as anti-Semitism.
Oh, wow.
But they don't know what fucking Semite means, yet they are up here and they're going to bloviate. I'm going to let them cook. They're going to bloviate about all this fucking anti-Semitism, not understanding that every Palestinian, every person who lives in Gaza is also a Semite.
Mikey, are you saying that their definition of anti-Semitism is anti-Semitic?
Yes, they are being anti-Semitic. So, like, just in her little intro blurb, she has not mentioned any of the Islamic people, the Arabs, who have been attacked in this country. Not once. In all of the examples, it's about Jewish people. But that's only half of the Semitic people. The other, like, it is so baffling to me that something so obvious and right in fucking front of you is being ignored for the sake of having a talking point, for the sake of having for making content and for having a segment. Like, it's bananas to me. That is bananas to me.
Yeah.
That's like saying religious people are being attacked, but only Christians. Like, they're the only fucking religion that exists. That is the antithesis of what they're saying, or the thesis of what they're saying is that there's only one kind of Semitic people, and it's Jews, and that's just factually fucking wrong.
And I think that most people have that interpretation, right? Most people when they hear Semitic or anti-Semitism, they're like, oh, that's being anti-Jewish, or that's being that's a Jewish person, but. Yeah, you're right. The definition also includes Arab people.
It's the region. It's all of them. It's the people who speak that language.
It's not the religion, right?
No.
It's the
because those are two
identity.
opposite. Yeah, because those are two opposite. So it's such bullshit. It's like saying Midwesterner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not a religion.
No. Well, hey. We have our rituals in the wintertime. All right, let's let them embarrass themselves here.
There's a willingness to acknowledge at this point something is happening here and it needs to be stopped before.
He is not the voice of
is that
Mike.
Is that Bill Crystal?
That is not the voice of Mike Wazowski. That's Billy Crystal.
It becomes a bigger issue.
I think there's a willingness to acknowledge it. I don't know if there's a willingness to do or to try to do, it's not so easy, obviously, to try to do what you might do to really stop it? I mean, are you going to really put serious law enforcement, people on this case? The Trump administration is busy deporting 5-year-olds and 18-year-olds and people who've lived here peacefully for 40 years. Maybe they should take some of those resources from DHS and the FBI and get them back to fighting domestic terrorism, which incidentally was a focus for the last few years. It may have had some.
Anybody remember January 1st when we had 2 terror attacks?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
Success. So I hope we take it very seriously. Yes, but I think it's important to take it seriously practically, and we have to deal with
this little meatball on the left. I hate this bitch. Oh, I can't stand this motherfucker. Wait till he start talking. Oh, this motherfucker had me mad. Oh, I was cussing this morning. Oh,
anti-Semitism. That has been around for a long time. It's a very complicated thing to deal with as a sort of sociological or intellectual thing. But there's a lot law enforcement can do to make this less, not to make it impossible, to make it less likely to happen.
Let me just play what Senator John Fetterman, a Democrat from Pennsylvania, said about this.
Fetterman?
This is
Mr. Brain Broken himself.
just rampant across all the universities, for all these places too.
All the universities. All the universities. All of them. This fucking broad speak is so stupid. And this is a big stupid motherfucker on top of it.
I went to a university very recently. It wasn't my university.
How did you get through all the anti-Semites coming, like bombarding the gates?
We were a state university, so I mean, they didn't have to pay as much, I guess. But I don't know. I don't understand. This is what I don't understand from the right, which is where
John Fetterman
finds himself. Yeah, I don't understand the attack on universities that is going on. I don't understand why they hate universities, because the culture of war that they're trying to fight at the universities has already been fought. There's Turning Point USA is at all these fucking places that they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like fucking Charlie Kirk goes to those places. There's a Turning Point University chapter at my university. And the college Dems and the college Republicans didn't like it, but what are you going to do?
Right.
Like it's a free speech thing. And the colleges aren't shutting that. I can only speak for my university. I can only speak for Southern Connecticut State University, right? I didn't see anyone being harassed for free speech. I didn't see anyone being harassed for speaking their mind, whether they were, pro-Palestine or pro-Israel, because there were protests that happened from both sides at that university. And the college allowed it to happen because nobody got rowdy.
Right.
And them going after universities for like indoctrinating children into liberalism. There are just as many conservative professors or more in my political science department than there were liberal professors. In fact, my advisor, my mentor, was a conservative professor. We disagree on things, but he still hates Trump. Like, but I don't think that these colleges, and I can't speak for all of them because I didn't go to, I only went to like 2 or 3. But
he did. He went to all of them.
Yeah, he went to all of them. Like Yale, yeah, maybe Yale has a certain leaning. Maybe Harvard, Harvard definitely doesn't have a certain leaning. You know how many conservative tech billionaires came out of fucking Harvard? How many people came out of Harvard Law who are conservative lawmakers now?
And that's the thing. Like, why would you try to pick on Harvard? Like, they're going to bend over and be like, oh, just bully us. Dude, that's where all the fucking, it's a lawyer factory. Like, what are you, stupid?
Harvard, Yale, Columbia, Stanford. They're all
dumb
fucking,
as hell.
But I don't think these places
technical school.
I don't think these places are like indoctrinating kids into certain things. Like there was certainly as many college Republicans as there were college Democrats at my university and at Yale University.
Yeah.
Because I interact with a lot of Yale students. There were conservative Yale students at the internship that I went to for Rosa DeLaura. Like that's just how it happens. You go to wherever you can go. But it's not, I don't think there's all this indoctrination going on. unless I'm missing something. And I've gone to conferences with professors from other universities, and they're like, we don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
They just don't include you. You're not cool enough.
I guess not.
They just keep not gonna work on him. Keep going. Pregnant Only Chat says my university tries to harass left of authoritarian and take Betsy DeVos and Co.'s money. Ugh, I forgot all about her.
Betsy DeVos. Man, I forgot all about her too. Have you like repressed most of the first Trump administration like I have?
Yes.
Because I don't remember a lot of it, and I think it's on purpose.
Because usually my mind is very sharp, but there's so many things in the Trump admin that I just like completely erased from the data bank. It's just gone. Just like take that hard drive, Hillary Clinton, that motherfucker, bleach, hammers, the whole nine.
I mean, we really need to call it what it is. And now, and for me, politically, being very, very firmly side on the Israel, that kind of put parts of my party at odds. For
his party?
For that. And I just want to continue. And I think we need to deliver a legislative solution too and really address anti-Semitism and just call it what it is.
Is he right, Congressman, that this is an outgrowth?
Israel is not the only fucking country that has Semitic people in it. This fucking conflation is driving me crazy. And as soon as I heard it, the whole rest of the segment will make you want to pull your ear hair out.
Both of what's happening on universities and on college campuses?
Well, first, we have to acknowledge that there is a crisis of anti-Semitism. Jewish Americans are feeling unsafe. I agree with Bill that we need more law enforcement, but we also need people in my party clearly, unequivocally condemning anti-Semitism, condemning things like globalize the Intifada or River to the Sea chants. So to the extent that they're irresponsible.
Except when Netanyahu says it.
Right.
Then it's fine.
Words out there and people aren't condemning them and saying that that's hate, then that is contributory.
Condemn Netanyahu then. Do it, Ro Khanna. Do it.
You don't want to.
Condemn.
But what we don't want to do, in my view, is to...
You know, we were going to put that shirt on hold. Maybe we need to put the yes, but do you condemn Hamas shirt?
Yes, but do you condemn Hamas? Listen, all these people, I guarantee you that when this genocide is over, in the aftermath of this, Netanyahu will be tried as a war criminal because he's a war criminal. The only reason that this is still ongoing is he doesn't want to be tried as a war criminal.
And because Trump won the election.
Yeah. Because y'all didn't want to vote for Kamala Harris, who was still pro-Israel, by the way.
I think she would have cut the money off.
I think she would have.
I think that was in one interview. It seemed like she was leaning that way to change her footing on Israel. But then, like the very next interview, she was right back on board. I was like, I
think she would have. I think she would have put a hard line somewhere in the funding to say, "Hey, you guys got to do something other than just what you're doing." Because you're not making things better, you're just making them worse. So it's
dickheads.
Yeah.
Stifle speech. And so we need to condemn unequivocally hate speech, but allow for the free expression at universities.
But Abby, if I could jump in, the problem is not enough Democrats did that last year when these college protests were rampant. They made the excuse that it was all free speech. They made the excuse that people had the freedom to assemble under the First Amendment. When many Americans, many Republicans, and even some Jewish Americans, Jewish students were saying this is going to lead to violence. Well, the chickens have come home to roost. And while there are...
I forgot. I got to grab something real quick.
Okay. I think he's right. The chickens are roosting, but not for the reason he thinks they're roosting for.
No, I don't want the arrest. I just want the protests. Got to be very selective with your... Oh, here we go. So I don't need this. Let me see if I might actually need to go find their live stream from that day. So while this was happening, I was up because I have a baby. And this was, I don't know, 11, 12 o'clock at night. God, this internet really is pissy. All right, let me try to close a couple of things.
Your internet is angry.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Large pro-Palestinian encampment just outside of Royce Hall.
So if you look, all this wood, they had to go to the hardware store and get wood because there was a bunch of Zionist protesters out there, and they were firing bottle rockets at them and throwing stones at them and paintballing them. And they had speakers signed up. Let me see if I can get a shot of the grass. No. The LAPD was standing there. Let me see if I can find it.
The LAPD with the usual restraint.
Yeah, well, no, the LAPD was sitting on the sidelines letting these random people beat the shit out of students.
Yeah.
Just letting it happen for hours and say, well, we don't have word. And they're like, aren't you going to help them? Like, oh, we don't have orders to go in. We don't have orders to go in. We don't have orders to go in.
Yeah, it's very crazy how the news media viewed these protests and then like what is currently going on.
Okay, so here we go. So you had, let's see, because I think this lady got hit with something. And it was not from the people inside the encampment. The encampment was like a turtle with his neck in a shell. Okay, I'm going to have to close something. What's going on here? All right. Right. So those people walking up to it have nothing to do with this. They had been posting all over social media that there was a UCLA encampment, and all of the trolls came out to fuck with them. Everybody was just showing up there to see if they could beat somebody up and get away with it. Oh, come on, you damn internet. Let's see. See here, I'll find it.
Oh, yeah, I see the wood planks.
I'll grab it and repost it. But I'm glad that this is what they're upset about, was people getting assaulted, the police not doing anything.
Right.
While Semitic people protested in support of more Semitic people, that was anti-Semitic.
Indeed come out against anti-Semitic and anti-Zionist rhetoric. There are a whole...
Whoa, why are you mixing them together, homie? Why are you mixing them together all of a sudden? Now they're the same? Now, so you're saying Arab people are Zionists? Because that's how I can interpret that, because I actually know what the fucking word means.
A lot who have not said a single word, in part because they were so interested in wanting to make sure that they had those votes last year, which it didn't pan out for them.
Come
to
on.
get
Do
away
you think any of these, the shooter in Boulder or the shooter in Washington, were influenced by what Democratic members of Congress said?
So you think the college
Do you think they were influenced by Harvard?
Meant nothing?
I think they were bad, and I actually was somewhat involved in trying to get Harvard to be tougher on them. They were bad for Harvard. They were bad for the general
Harvard,
atmosphere.
Bill.
You think those people? That guy in Boulder was paying careful attention. Was paying careful attention. Social media does a lot more trouble. Social media.
I agree with that.
What?
Social media. That's what got the guy all upset, I bet.
Would you not agree that we have a problem with anti-Zionist, anti-Semitic rhetoric on college campuses across the country?
You can't just put those together.
Yeah, you can't.
They're not the same thing. but he's dumb as shit. And no one on the fucking dais is going to fucking correct him. No one. No one. And this is media. These are brilliant minds debating over the hard topics. These are jackasses. These are plants. These are industry fucking plants. Unbelievable.
We have had a problem. It's much less today than it was a year and a half ago. I know many people who graduated from college in the last.
Why are you only talking about a year and a half ago?
Last week or two who had good experience. I know some Jewish students who were harassed occasionally and whose life was made uncomfortable, which should not happen. I think there were administrations that were too weak. I agree with that. But I think that's a long way ago from some people taking guns and shooting people point blank.
Yeah, I agree. Here's what we also have to acknowledge. And I agree that a lot of the college students and the colleges and the leaders did not deal with this as they should have. But we also have to acknowledge, Abby, that the rise of anti-Semitism in the last decade can be correlated with the rise of Donald Trump. And the kind of language that he uses, has used, gives...
Lady. You can't find a more pro-Zionist president than Joe Biden.
Nope.
Like what are you talking about?
Joe Biden was all for it.
He said if Israel didn't exist, we'd have to create an Israel.
Right.
Like, what are you talking?
Anti-Semitic language to be used, in a way that we really hadn't seen before. The President of the United States, when you have dinner with a neo-Nazi, when you pardon people who are the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys, whose groups have an ideology that supports anti-Semitism,
How dare you lie? How dare you lie? Those are Democrats. These are clearly Democrats.
Clearly.
Look at all these black college students. Cameraman.
No, the cameraman got taken down.
There they come. Here come the stormtroopers. Yeah, and then this. Remember this?
We predicted that Charlottesville would be the...
Oh, look! It's Oren, our friend from the director of the ADL, who said that... Peep this, everybody. He said that Elon's Sig Heil wasn't a Sig Heil. It was nothing. It wasn't. So don't even say it was.
Largest gathering of white supremacists in over a decade.
What?
And unfortunately, we were right.
The white supremacists are the anti-Semites. I feel like this is the end of fucking Scooby-Doo. And we just pulled the fucking mask off. Holy shit. Jews will not replace us. Look at all of these closeted Arabs over here. Holy shit. Jews will not replace us.
Jews will not replace us. ADL and the Center on Extreme.
But no, let's go back to Boulder.
When you have anti-Semitic tropes that you traffic in and that you amplify on your own social media, where you have followers of millions of people, you cannot give a pass to the President of the United States with the kind of megaphone that he has and say, oh, he has absolutely nothing to do with this.
That is absolutely nuts. You guys are barely scratching the surface here. This isn't just about we need more Democrats to condemn what's happening. How about let's get Democrats not joining in on it? How about AOC and Representative Omar don't join those college campuses? And this hasn't been going on for 10 years. It's been going on for 18 months. And it starts on the college campuses. It empowers people.
I am reframing the argument so that it only applies to Israel.
Yeah.
10 years, 18 months.
to go beyond,
And
it has nothing to do with Donald Trump.
I want to be
Absolutely
a little
not.
bit more specific about what we're talking about here, because I definitely think, to the congressman's point, there are specific things that are being said on these campuses that are anti-Semitic. But the idea that AOC and I don't know,
Good people on both sides, by the way.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar are engaging in those activities. I'm not sure
They showed
there's
up
a
on those
lot of evidence
campuses.
of
They
that.
spoke at the campuses.
You know what I
They
mean?
were there on those campuses.
Right, but I guess,
speaking out.
but here's what I'm
For
saying.
it.
But do you understand what I'm saying? If they
No,
show
he
up on
doesn't.
college campuses to protest, what's the situation in Gaza, are you saying automatically the same thing?
What situation? Can you describe it?
What kind of situation?
What's going on there?
As uttering anti-Semitic words?
Yes, they're
and doing
anti-Semitic.
So the situation, the thing that's happening versus the fucking gross and disgusting words that are being, like, it's so funny how the behavior of militaries is completely ignored. Completely ignored. The 50,000 plus dead, completely ignored. But because something more important has to come up.
No mistake about it. Their words are absolutely, and this is all based in anti-Semitism.
Right, what I'm saying is,
and
like,
it's
do
seen a
you have
rise.
evidence that they actually engaged in anti-Semitic language? That is the issue.
You know, I mean, supporting
Ilhan
terrorists
Omar?
and
some of her past
Are you
statements?
saying? Do we have to go through the statements?
I am talking about on college campuses. Because I think that there is a difference
The history
between
of
protesting.
Omar is very clear.
Abby,
She's
there's
very
There's a history. There's a difference between protesting and saying and doing anti-Semitic things. Would you not agree?
They are 5 minutes into this segment. They still don't know what they're talking about. They're just all repeating what their fucking donors are telling them to say. And it's fucking gross.
That's CNN for you.
People in the state of Israel is deplorable and disgusting. She shouldn't even be in Congress, in my opinion. And them showing up on those college campuses as a green
Good thing nobody asked you, fucking Walmart Carlton.
light for the most vicious, disgusting, despicable rhetoric against Jewish students and against Jewish people. You can absolutely draw a correlation. And to pretend that they were on.
Where was there one sign that said anything about Jews?
Yeah.
But this and the reason why I'm going through all these excruciatingly high level of detail on all this is because the devil's in the details, and differences are very important. So when people try to tell you that you're doing something that's anti-Semitic by supporting a Semitic people, you need to know that you can tell them to shut the fuck up and that they're wrong definitionally. Like they just don't know. They just don't know what they're talking about. And when they refuse to talk about the 50,000, but they want to talk about kids nervous about their class, which none of them have reported. And then most of these student-led groups were Jewish kids. Like the Not in My Name movement was by Jewish kids who were saying, and kids not wanting their college tuition to go towards bombs could go towards any conflict. And it's been done over several conflicts that students don't want their money to go to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Kate Smith had a good point in the chat. This format using a panel of opposing political opinions give equal weight to both sides. This is why people choose a side regardless of what the argument is. And I think that CNN is often quite wrong for the way they present topics. And honestly, most major media outlets are Fox News, NBC. The both sidesing of things is always crazy. And especially when it comes to this argument, honestly, they're all presenting the same side, except for one person, right? They're all presenting the same side. And they have minute details that are different between them. Like the Republican guy says that all the college protests were
every college,
every single one. And Bill Kristol agrees that all the colleges are indoctrinating kids or whatever, but in a different way. They're not both sidesing it, guys. It is the same side. They have one person to detract from their argument, but everyone else is in agreement, and that is how it happens. Fox News has their one liberal guest who they get to shout at.
Right.
MSNBC has Joe Scarborough, who is kind of conservative, but that's it. Like, there's no real news or discussion or debate happening in that panel. And Mikey is 100% right. These people are just given talking points from their donors or whatever, or they come with an agenda that they're already 100% set in. You're not going to change their mind. It's not a debate.
Right.
It's just people giving their opinions, and you get to latch on to whatever opinion you want.
Just feeding the vortex.
On the college campuses are saying kumbaya is to just be naive.
I mean, the governor and I were talking about President Bush Sr. Before we got on the set, and the tone he set for this country. You know what I think is sad?
Oh, the devil's in the chat. I love how it's the sun. Actually, I'm not in the details. I'm at McDonald's having a McRib. In hell, the McRib is never seasonal. It's all year round.
Oh man.
And the ice cream machine works.
In hell, the ice cream machine works in hell. Yep. Damn.
The Democrats are saying, oh, it's Trump's fault, the anti-Semitism. The Republicans are saying it's the Democrats' fault. How about we just have leadership in this country that starts to bring this country together to condemn anti-Semitism, condemn the terrorism, stop blaming each other. And that's the type of leadership we had, whether it was Reagan, whether it was President Bush Sr., whether it was President Obama. We need to get back to that.
But wouldn't you agree we need a cultural change?
What?
Students and kids under the age of 30 years old, this is prevalent.
You mean this culture?
Extremism are dedicated to providing actionable information, analysis, and expertise.
What are they chanting? What are they chanting back there?
To law enforcement around
Israel forever?
Around the country.
Yeah, look at this college kid with this great long beard. He must have come from the local university. Like, this is such fucking gaslighting, dude.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
White dudes are the anti-Semites. Let's get it clear.
Not this white dude.
Not that white dude. But that's who's been up to this. Them has been doing all the anti-Semitism. And because people are standing up for other Semites, now you're saying that group's the no. This has always been a right-wing thing. The Jew hatred has always been a right-wing thing. So don't try to like switch. Oh, the Democrats are nah, dog. This has got Charles fucking bloody fingerprints all over it. Nice try.
This is commonplace. Even the kids that aren't showing up on those campuses think that there's a massive problem with Israel and we should all support Hamas and Gaza. These are the same people that say, well, it's about the women and children that are being killed. Yet did nothing about the 300,000 people that were murdered in Darfur or the 500,000 in Ethiopia. They're picking and choosing. They're self-righteous.
And there you have it. The whataboutism of a genocide.
Of a fucking genocide. Are you crazy right now?
The logical fallacy being presented there is that both those things can't be true at the same time.
Hate that phrase.
Anti-Semitic rhetoric and the tropes that he actually puts out there.
But Maria, I do think we have to take the point that he's making, which is that in the last 18 months, since October 7th, the rise in anti-Semitism is clear. Like, that is not a Donald Trump thing. That is a clear outgrowth of this particular moment that we are in. And Trump has his problems, but I do think you have to acknowledge that there is something going on here, maybe a permission structure that needs to be addressed or should have been addressed 18 months ago.
I mentioned that when I acknowledged that a lot of what was going on the college campuses, the leaders of those college campuses, which frankly paid the price for it, did not handle it very well. But we have to go back. I feel like everyone is giving Donald Trump, letting him off the hook for the kind of language that he permits.
A tough story to talk about this morning. A man is charged with stabbing a mother and killing her son. He's set to go before a judge later today.
The boy's funeral will also happen early this afternoon. NBC5's Lisa Chavria here in studio. And Lisa, just such a horrible...
This is from October 16th, 2024.
Difficult story to tell here. Authorities now telling us they believe this is a hate crime.
That's right. That's exactly what we're hearing from the Will County authorities. Now, the landlord of this mother and son, he's due in court later today. He's facing murder, attempted murder, and hate crime charges. The FBI now says they are opening a federal investigation. The family of Wadia Odi Alfaume is heartbroken. The Will County Sheriff's Office says the 6-year-old and his mother were victims of a hate crime at the hands of their own landlord. The two lived on the ground level of the landlord's home in Plainfield Township for 2 years. Late Saturday morning, deputies say 71-year-old Joseph Chuba knocked on the mother's door. When she opened it, authorities say he began to stab her and her son. She was taken to the hospital in serious condition. Her son, Wadia, was killed. An autopsy revealed the boy was stabbed more than 25 times. He had just celebrated a birthday 2 weeks ago.
We're not only completely heartbroken and devastated by what happened, but we are afraid of what may happen more in the future.
The Council on American Islamic Relations held a press conference to show their support for Wadia's family. The boy's father was there. He described what his son was like to the council.
He loved to color. He loved to swing around. He loved his parents. He loved his
I think this is Dad down here with the white jacket.
Family and his friends. He loved life.
Will County authorities say Chuba targeted the boy and his mother for 2 reasons. First, because they were Muslim, and second, because of the war between Israel and Hamas. The landlord is set to be in court at 1:30 this afternoon, and just before that, the 6-year-old's family will hold his funeral and prepare to bury their child. Michelle?
That's heartbreaking, Lisa.
Because somebody who will remain Joe Biden nameless went out there and promoted the lie that there were 40 beheaded babies.
Oh, yes. I remember all that rhetoric.
And that's what he was yelling at them while he was stabbing it.
Yeah. All of it rhetoric.
Unbelievable.
Oh, we got a super chat.
Super chat.
Tim Ballum, 5 British pounds. So they think Jewish equals Israel, American equals USA. Does that mean Trump equals KKK?
His dad was.
I mean, if you go through Trump's history far enough, it's pretty clear where Trump sides on that.
And Elon.
Oh, speaking of Elon.
Speaking of
Elon, hold on.
Stopping the share.
Yeah, stopping the share. Breaking news. Elon torches Trump budget bill, says it's a disgusting abomination.
I thought you were going to give me other good news.
In a tweet, he says, "I'm sorry, I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it." Elon has immediately turned on Trump after fucking leaving Doge.
He's not a good puppy. He goes on the floor all the time. But that's probably because of that botched penis surgery and all the drugs he takes.
Elon here, let's see. I got another quick vid. Some Michael Steele for you.
Hey.
About the big beautiful bill.
They got your data, dumbass.
Going to affect people who are on Medicaid, or it's only going to affect people who benefit from some government services. You always look at the economy as this macro question. How do you think this bill, as written now, understanding it has to go through the Senate, impacts the economy as a whole?
Well, people forget that a lot of what people are paying for their monthly budget is their mortgage. It's their credit card. Interest rates are still looking to go up because of the...
My mortgage interest rate is very high.
That's why we didn't buy, because they wanted a small fortune for a piece of shit at like 7% interest. I was like, no, hell no.
Yeah, 7.25%.
Whew. And then like our parents paid like 2% and 3%. Like it's such dog shit. It's such dog shit.
A huge amount of debt that they are taking on to finance these tax cuts. All the healthcare losses are going to mean more of those medical bills that people have to battle on. And of course, if groceries and other key essentials are more expensive, we will pay for this in one way or another.
What's homegirl name with the shaved head?
Simone, I think.
Simone. She is always like, her facial expressions always get me. Always get me.
For a lot of those folks, in addition to the things you touch on, are some of the fundamentals. All right, so it's the food I put on the table, but it's the health care I got to pay for because I got a sick grandmama. I got a husband who's not doing well. I've got my own issues, my kids. You've got the Washington Post reporting Republicans trying to repeal Obamacare again. And look, for the record, everybody knows I was part of that fight.
Yeah, no, but it's okay. Go ahead. You know what? We'll take you. You know.
No. Look, I admit the loss then, right? We fought and we lost. The American people said they didn't want it. The Congress was able to do what they wanted to do, right? And that was 2010. Since that time, though, you have now congressional Republicans pursuing changes to the Affordable Care Act that would mean 10.7 million fewer Americans using its insurance marketplaces and Medicaid, a huge reduction that some view as a way to accomplish part of the health care coverage cancellation that failed in 2017. So even between that 2010 period and 2017, you can make the case, repeal Obamacare. But as I said in close quarters then, and continue throughout to say, what are you replacing it with? We still need to have a plan. Republicans have never offered a plan, nothing even close to viable as a plan.
Hey, pause it real quick. And that's why, and say what y'all will about Michael Steele, he's not right on everything. He is, after all, a Republican who was the former chair of or I think head of the RNC.
Yeah, he was the chair of the RNC, yeah.
So like, while his politics be they wrong, he's still a politician. He's still a bureaucrat. He's still a diplomat. You know what I mean? He still believes in using the levers that exist to accomplish whatever political goal that you might have. Which is why all of this MAGA shit for him is abominable. Where even if he wanted to get on board and say, "Hey, the red team's winning. Let's all band together and score some points," or he's just like, "This is nasty. What the fuck is this? I don't want to be part of this."
Well, I mean, and you can see it, like mentioning conservatives on MSNBC. Michael Steele, he is one. Like he got pushed into this basically because the MAGA movement really disliked him.
Yep.
Because
he wants policy. It's like, fine. You want to do it? What are we going to replace it with? Because the people aren't going to like it if we just cut it. And then just like they did the Anakin meme.
Yeah.
With Anakin and Padme. Sitting on, he's like, oh, you're going to cut, but you're going to replace it with something, right? Right.
But look, he admitted that he was part of the repeal and replace movement, but when he asked them what they were going to replace it with, they were like, I don't know.
They just stared at the camera.
Well, and that was what Trump did in 2017, 2018. He tried to repeal and replace Obamacare. He's like, oh, yeah, we'll have a plan.
I have concepts of a plan.
That was it. Like, right. That's even before concepts of a plan. They're like, oh, yeah, we're going to make something better.
2 weeks, remember? 2 weeks. They were going to let us know in the press conference. 2 weeks from now, I'll let you know.
And it was nothing. It was nothing. They had no plan. They still have no plan. They've had 10 years. They've had 10 years to figure this shit out. And their plan is nothing.
They're not very bright, Tim. It might take them another 10. Age of Crocodilia says Trump wants tariffs and cuts to wet his beak. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They are all sitting there with they're underneath the fucking thing with their big money bag, like, come on, cuts, come on, baby. They got the big bag ready. They're ready to rake in the savings, which is totally going towards the budget.
Totally. It's totally going towards the deficit. Yes. Totally going towards the deficit. Not that they're going to add $4 trillion to it.
Is there even a mechanism to do what they're saying?
Yeah. It's called raising.
No, I mean to cut all this stuff and then to take that money and put that money towards the deficit. I don't even think that there's a mechanism to do it in the way, you know what I'm saying? Like there's not like a pot that you can take all of the quote unquote cuts and savings, put that pot into another pot, and then use that pot towards a deficit. All of that has to be done in appropriations. None of that shit has happened.
Yeah,
None of
no,
that has happened. So you
have
cannot
to
do that.
You have to do that through legislation. You can't just be like, oh,
And where's the
well,
legislation to do that?
yeah, there's none.
There isn't none. So they're just gonna
No.
fucking keep it.
So, like, technically, you can say in legislation, hey, any money that we save through these cuts is going to go towards paying down the deficit or paying
they
the
say
interest
that?
on the debt or what. No, they didn't say that. They
So
don't
the
even
money
care.
will just not go to anything. And we'll
The-
just give ourselves a bonus for cutting so much.
I'm gonna be straight with you. There's no money being saved. There's not a dime being saved, not a penny. They're expanding the cost of government by reducing revenue and increasing expense. So,
Which, as a businessman, Trump knows will work out in the end.
definitely, he ran so many great casinos that did so well.
That's our other deep dive. Is we got to do maybe on the weekends we'll do
Yeah.
like a weekend thing, and
Yeah.
we'll just do like a little research project or something.
But
Or a sound thing.
they're not saving a single penny. They have not saved a single penny. They will not save any money. Any money that they're cutting is going towards paying down the tax cuts, which is not going to be enough. And they're just going to increase the deficit. In that triple B, the big beautiful bill, they have $4 trillion they're raising the debt ceiling $4 trillion because they know that they're going to increase the deficit and the debt year one of this budget.
It's not going to happen, Tim.
And the projection from the Congressional Research Service is that it would be $20 trillion in the next 10 years.
That's not what's going to happen. We're going to be making so much money off of the tariffs, you see.
Oh, yes, the tariffs.
We're going to tax the people, you see. And that way, the people will have more money because I took it. So dumb.
Place is not a plan. It's not a strategy. It doesn't even, it's good rhetoric and that's about it. So for a lot of Americans, that's when it gets real for them. When all of a sudden they've got these doctor bills and these healthcare expenses that hit them, but then pre-existing conditions come back. A lot of this narrative come back for a lot of families. How does that feed this unease that people have about what Republicans are doing?
Well, there's a real tension because on one hand, they're also saying people should have more children. People should have more families.
But they don't want to pay for
Yeah,
that.
right. If you're going to have no health care, if the cost of student loans in higher education is going to be jacked up, if it's more costly to get food, how on earth are you supposed to have more and more children to
Tim,
support
pause it.
when housing costs?
So for my little stinky monster in the other room, who is taking a nap and being very good, which I don't trust.
You're going to pay for it later.
Exactly. $36,000 for her delivery. That did not include the anesthesiologist who she needed for the epidural. It doesn't include, I think, the delivering doctor. Like, so we had 3 separate bills when we left the hospital. 3 different people were charged. The hospital, the doctor, and then the anesthesiologist all had separate bills. And they all wanted to put us on a payment plan for $150 a month.
Damn.
Each one of them.
Damn.
So insurance took care of the majority of it, but I think we ended up still paying around $6,000 just for her. Just for the hospital stay. That doesn't count. I probably took her we had an appointment almost every week, so I had to go do all of those. Like, having a kid is expensive, and we felt like we were in the right spot, and we decided to take the risk. We're not complaining about all that, but multiply us times how many more kids do you want?
Yeah, they want everyone to have
like
at least
millions.
2.
You
Yeah.
want millions of more children, so you want millions times $5,000 to $10,000 if you have, and we pay a lot for our insurance because we knew this was coming.
Right.
It was kind of planned out, which is why we upgraded the insurance, and we knew. This was planned in advance. No one can afford to have a fucking kid.
Yeah.
What are y'all like? Y'all are fucking so that would have been $450 for just the hospital bills to pay back. Never mind all the time and all that other stuff. And she couldn't work for 6 weeks after. Well, she was home for 6 weeks, and then I think she took some more time for her body to recover. But it's like rent is going through the roof, and you want everybody like, hey, I know we're not going to give you time off of work, so we're going to give you like, I don't know, 10 weeks off, and then you can go right back to the, back to the fucking steel smelt works and keep doing like, this is stupid.
Back to the coal mines.
And if they do this, pregnancy is a pre-existing condition to a lot of insurance companies. That's why it was so critical for us to have the ACA, because it had the provision that stopped insurers from kicking people off for having pre-existing conditions. Pregnancy counts.
Yeah. No, it's.
Ooh, I like this. I like this. It needs a $50K tax-free at least. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm done.
And nothing has been done to address it. So to me, this is the canary in the coal mine for actually undermining how it would cost for a family to survive.
I think it's so important you keep talking about housing and these other costs that people find in that affects people in their everyday lives.
I just want to point out there's no paper shuffling.
Oh, it's a glorious day. No Joe and Mika. Tim Ballum with the 5-pound super chat. Oh, you got the air horns. I'm over here just spamming the button.
There we go.
Thank you. We are so lucky. Our 8-year-old daughter was in A&E today. I don't know what that means. As she cut her thumb last night preparing veg. In and out within 20 minutes, all sorted and no bill.
I think A&E is like the emergency room.
Yeah, what's that acronym? A&E.
And no bill, huh?
It stinks that she cut herself. That's a bummer. But yeah, being in and out in 20 minutes and no fucking bill. Like, I don't even know how to process that.
Yeah.
Like,
boy,
I had a really bad
medicine sounds great.
I had a really like sketchy breathing incident, like with asthma and the cats and the plant life outside trying to grow and murder me. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with this grass. It grows every year. Accident and emergency. Thank you. And like I was really wheezing really bad. Like I was super constricted up in here. And I didn't have an inhaler. But money is tight, and I was trying to figure out what I could do to keep my lungs open until my fit went off, because I don't have the money. Like this is a small channel. My wife, like we lead a very fiscal life, or a frugal life. We don't do a whole bunch of stuff. That's a lot of money. And if I go in for an asthma attack, or if I go in for like an allergic reaction, it's at least like $1,200. I know, because I've been there 5 times. Because people don't fucking know how to stop cross-contaminating food at restaurants. And sometimes I have to go to the fucking hospital. And before you guys say EpiPens are $600 a piece now, and they expire after 1 year.
Yeah.
And you still have to go to the hospital.
Yeah. No, and like going to like the walk-in, like the urgent care or whatever it is, like even on insurance, it's $100 just as like a copay.
Right. Just for walking in.
And I've had to go to the walk-in a couple of times over the last couple of years. Like I had really bad food poisoning, and I've also like had the strep or flu or COVID or whatever. Like, you get sick. I don't want to go to the emergency room. That's more expensive, and I'm not dying. So you go to the walk-in clinic.
Yeah.
And they help you out maybe sometimes. But it costs money. It costs money. Even with insurance, it costs money. I don't have great health insurance, but I still got to pay $100.
It's bullshit. Bullshit. You give him all the easy ones.
because when folks talk about affordability, that is what they mean. The ability that they can afford to live how they would like to live every day. And that is grocery prices, yes. That is housing, whether it's rent or your mortgage. And I was looking at today, there are retailers who are raising their prices as Donald Trump's tariffs take hold. This is from CNBC. Multiple major retailers said they have already raised some prices or plan to hike them in the coming weeks to offset the duties. They include major grocers and consumer goods sellers like Costco, Best Buy, Walmart, and Target. I shop at Costco. Okay, I knew the prices was going up.
All right, Mikey, here's one for you.
Mm-hmm.
In the midst of my moving over the weekend, I caught a flat tire. And luckily I caught a flat tire near a New England staple of tire sellers called Town Fair Tire. And I drove up. I drove up there and I was like, hey, I got a nail in my tire. Can you fix it? And he looked at it. He's like, no, because the nail's in like the wall of the tire and I can't fix that.
New tire time.
I had to get 2 new tires because I have all-wheel drive on my car and you can't mix and match tires. And he showed me the price that I paid for the same tires in 2021. I paid $100 a tire. And it cost $600 to mount all 4 tires.
Must be nice. I have an SUV, so I have to have pickup truck tires.
Yeah,
Fucking
no, I got
socks, dude. Fucking socks.
I got all weather tires on my Forester. Like it's also, you know, I live in snowy fucking places.
You have weather.
I have weather. So the all weather tires, 2021 cost $100 each, plus the mounting and the balancing and the alignment and all that was $600. For the 2 new tires,
$900.
It was $600. They cost $170 each. And the guy was like, "Yeah, inflation's crazy. Tires have like doubled." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
This is success. Aren't you? Can't you feel the winning?
And he said, "Thanks, Joe," meaning Joe Biden did this.
What?
And I was like, "What the fuck do you mean?
How?" Well, when Trump was in, we could just burn our old tires in the backyard. Now Joe Biden's making us put them.
I was like, well, Joe Biden was president in 2021. So what are you talking about?
I don't know.
Him and the guy with him were like, oh, yeah, it's Joe Biden. He's the reason for all the inflation. And I was like, that couldn't possibly be true.
But that's the problem. It's like, I have to trust you to know how to balance this tire, but how the fuck do you not understand the world? Like, should I trust my tires with you? You sound kind of dumb.
But that's an example of he said the price of tires over the last year has gone up $30 a month.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. The inflation on tires is crazy right now.
Tons, put this on a shirt.
But so that's a good example of them raising prices because of tariffs. Like those tires aren't always made here, and
also the greedflation.
Right. And fucking Town Fair Tire, if you ever go there, if you live in New England, they don't gouge you, but they certainly don't give you the cheapest prices. Like it's not it's a service where you're kind of a hostage consumer. Because you're there because your tires are flat or whatever, or you have bald tires. You need new tires. Well, here you go. You can't leave until you get new tires.
Oh my God, Kate!
The inflation on tires.
They're at 35 psi and $35 extra each. What's your psi?
I think mine is like 30.
Liberal. I go max. I go sidewall max. It's a little bit rougher of a ride, but I get maximum fuel efficiency.
Well, the wife drives a WRX. Her tire PSI is crazy.
She's got low profiles though, right?
Yeah.
It's probably like 50.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The food truck, guess the PSI on the tires on the food truck.
7.
90.
Damn.
The guy at the shop was like, "Listen, don't ever put air in your tires. They will explode on you." Like you'll decompress them and they'll explode.
Mm-hmm.
There's no tire pressure gauge at the gas station that's going to do it. If you need air, come to me.
You must come to me. 300.
And he's like, don't ever change your tires either. The back tires on the food truck, the back axle has got 2 tires, and the first one is spring loaded.
Oh God.
So he's like, don't ever touch your tires. If there's anything wrong, just we'll tell you. I don't care. Just don't touch them.
I don't fuck with electricity, and I don't fuck with springs. I don't fuck with neither one of those two. Those are widow makers. No electricity, and plumbing. I'm not so like scared of, but I don't. I will fucking put both hands in my pockets and whistle and walk away from you. I am not touching it like a fuse box.
Nah, I wouldn't.
We got to turn the breaker off and go fix this. Like, who is we? No, we calling somebody for that. I'm not dying. Not for this.
All right, let's finish this and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, we'll get out of here. Oh, can't hear it.
Oh, sorry.
To paycheck, how they're feeling.
Well, if you look now, even at Walmart, we're
the other day and I said, now, what is going on? I still bought it. But if I'm noticing the numbers, I could imagine folks who are literally living paycheck to paycheck, how
I
they're
gotta
feeling.
sound clip that. That's a good one.
What is
Sorry.
Let me get the right button here. All right.
I knew the prices was going up. Because I went into Costco the other day and I said, now, what is going on? I still bought it. But if I'm noticing the numbers, I could imagine folks who are literally living paycheck to paycheck, how they're feeling.
Well, if you look now, even at Walmart, we're seeing reports of triple-digit percentage price increases from rolls of tape to toys and more. And I think we all need to watch, even if Trump does tariffs, takes them away.
Oh, wait, that dude is the former director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau? He knows. He knows.
These are the people that you got to listen to. These are the people. We have our own personal one of these.
Yeah.
And the people who
even
know the
if
markets.
Trump does tariffs, takes
they know. This guy fucking knows.
them away. Retailers are starting to tell people, we're just going to raise prices no matter what, because we can pin the blame on the tariffs, just like we pin the blame on COVID shortages. And the result.
Y'all ever notice that toilet paper never went back down?
Funny that. Same thing with rent.
Yeah. Toilet paper, rent, paper towel. All that shit.
Funny.
Is going to be gigantic price increases, big profits for corporations, but those people living in a paycheck to paycheck, they're going to be big in debt because of it.
And then those.
Holy shit. I put a new breaker in my fuse box last December because the old one was sparking and lived to tell the tale. Oh my God, I would just move.
Oh my God.
I would just leave.
Yeah. I would just be like, this house is burning down without me in it.
I'd just take like a red handkerchief, a couple of my toys, wrap it around my baseball bat, and just run away from home. I'm out of here. I can't do it, y'all. That's so scary. It's so scary. You can smell when you can smell the electricity.
The ozone. Oh yeah. Oh no.
Get me away from here.
Closest I ever got to electrifying myself was putting in a water heater on the food truck, and I had to connect the positive side and the negative side to the other positive side and negative side. Ooh boy, did I get a shock.
I hate jumping cars.
I don't like it either, because you got to be like I just remember that you have to connect the negative side, the black one last to complete the circuit. Otherwise you'll just fucking get electrocuted.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Muted again. You muted it again.
Oh, I muted it again?
Yes.
Whoopsie.
Wondering how's right check, they're going to be big in debt because of it.
And then those prices become sticky and it becomes harder.
That's right. It seems they never come down. We all still walk down the grocery store wondering, how on earth is this cereal $6.59? There's 100 cereals, 3 cereal companies. It's easier and easier for them to push up the prices.
But that also speaks to, on the price side, manufacturers and retailers, et cetera, they can jack their prices. The assumption is that the consumer is going to pay. And at a certain point in any given economy, this is a real thing, consumers decide, you know what, I'm not going to spend that money. Because my budget has gotten smaller now. It's tighter because there's less revenue coming in. The cost for the things that I've got to spend for has gone up. So consumers then make those choices where they impact the market too by their behavior. It's not just this is the impact of tariffs. It's not just what the retailers and the supply chain and all that is. It's on the other end of that how consumers then to say, you know what? We're just not taking that vacation. We're not going to go spend for this. We're not going to buy that. We're not going to get all these supplies that we would normally get at the beginning of the school year. That's the other impact. So when you start destabilizing the economy at both ends, that's the concern the Fed has had, and that's the line that they're trying to walk on tax, on interest rates, for example. But those other personal economies are big drivers, too.
Well, we're seeing that. There's signs that even upper income consumers, credit card delinquency is going up.
Yeah.
Auto loan delinquency is going up. FICO scores, those are our credit scores. First time in a while, they're going down. So we're already seeing the rubber band stretch for families. And who knows, this could make for many of them snap. And some people, though, they cannot reduce their spending.
Right.
They need the diapers, they need the milk, they need to put food on the table, and they're the ones who are really going to get hit.
Homegirl about to hit that potty. Time to do potty training. Because these diapers are about to get astronomical. Hell no, you're about to come on and sit on this pot. Here, look, it plays a song.
I would like to point out the difference in the conversation between that panel of people and the CNN panel of people. And how those people are actually having a conversation and not yelling at the one person they don't agree with.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they're all kind of on the same side, but they didn't purposefully invite someone who they disagree with to yell at them.
I mean, the person who would be on the other side would be Michael Steele.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, this is fucked.
He was like, I was there. I tried to stop Obamacare, and there was no plan.
And then they got mad at me for trying to have a plan.
Right. And then they kicked me out.
They said you can't be here no more. I just realized you're black.
We don't want any of you in our party.
We've got Tim Scott.
But I mean, they're all very, very good points made all around about how fucked we are.
Yeah.
Economically because of the fucking tariffs. Whether or not they actually go into full effect, whether or not the courts decide that they are legal for the president to do, which they're not. But whether or not that happens, there's already been damage done by the fucking seesaw effect of the taco stuff. And companies had to make decisions. They had to purchase things and at a certain price because of tariffs at some point on some day. And now there's going to be inflation.
Well, on that day and then not on that day.
Right.
So even if you wanted to change like how you were getting your supplies, it may not, you can't even make that, year-long contract with somebody else now because he might just fucking change his mind and take them away.
Right.
So now it was
for all the UK listeners in the chat. There's a UK store that I go to that's now really, really close to me, like a UK import store. And a couple of weeks ago, I went down there to get my favorite things, and I asked the lady who runs the store, I was like, how are the tariffs treating you? She just laughed. Like, she's like, there's nothing we can do about it. Everything's more expensive now. Like, all the stuff that I normally buy was at least $1 more.
It's messed up. my biscuits, my digestive biscuits,
my digestives, and my Fentimans sodas. But yeah, like, what did I get that was like, it was noticeably different because I had one already. It was like this. It's like this relish that they sell. It's like a tomato relish, and I bought it 2 months ago at $6. It's delicious, and I bought it on grilled cheese sandwiches. Delicious.
Oh,
it's like a
dirty bitch. That is probably delicious.
It's like a sweet tomato relish. It's not like super tomatoey. It's
like
got a little sweetness to it.
Like cherry tomato relish.
Oh yeah, like that.
Okay.
Instead of doing like slice of tomato, you put the spread on. It's delicious. But damn, it was $6 2 months ago, and it was $7 2 weeks ago.
It begins.
Yeah.
It begins. Uh-oh. He's done it. Wait. Gotta push the buttons.
Oh, buttons. There we go. So many air horns.
All the air horns. Darren Biasard, 10 British pounds. Lots of good stuff today, gents. Thank you. I'm off for dinner. Ooh, what's for dinner? Before you come back, wait.
What's for dinner?
So I can steal your idea. That was my favorite part about working at the grocery store. That was like one of my like customer service things. Like, all right, what's for dinner tonight? And then some lady caught on. She's like, "You ask everybody that, don't you?" I was like, "Yes." She's like, "And then you just make whatever sounds good." I was like, "Listen, I don't go to your job telling you."
Listen, mind your own business. Tell me what you're eating for dinner.
Just tell me. In Canada, they're putting bacon jam in burgers now. Calm the F down with the new food ideas. Just add bacon. Yeah, just put the bacon on top. Okay. At that point.
I've seen bacon jam. I've tried bacon jam. It's not that great.
Okay.
Regular bacon's better.
Or is that just your preference? I think if you do some of that fucking tomato relish, and some bacon jam on like a steak and shake, like a smash burger, on toast. On either side, like the top half has got the relish and the bottom. It might be good.
I might have to try that
with a Frisco. Put a little and then some Thousand Island in the middle. I'll be back. I always do that. We always do this at the end of streams. We just start talking about food.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'm having for dinner, Mikey.
Yeah. So
speaking of UK foods, I'm doing bangers and mash.
I don't have bangers. Oh, I do have bangers. I don't have mash. I have corn.
I got some potatoes. I'm probably just gonna boil them and mash them.
In my you'll enjoy this. Speaking of potatoes, so you know how sometimes you kind of forget about a bag of potatoes in the pantry?
Yes, all the time.
We do it a lot too. So you ever wondered what would happen if you just like planted those?
You mean after they've already started growing? Yeah. No, I've tried planting them.
I did. That's what I did yesterday for like an hour or so. My wife made red lentil bread. Okay. So she like she soaked the lentils and then she did some weird shit with them and she made some bread out of it. She wasn't impressed. It was very more like a loaf of like sponge cake or like it was very dense to be trying to like have a PB&J with. But she only did half. She only needed half of them, so she left the other ones. And I'm not super tall. I'm 6 foot, but she put it on the bottom shelf in the back, and I like can't see through the shelves because of my height. And I just don't see shit. Bangers and smash. But so she had like a bunch, like maybe 100 fully sprouted lentil pod things.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I feel bad just putting it in a garbage. So I put them in the yard last weekend. I'd say there's at least 100 fucking lentil plants in the backyard that are trying to grow right now. And this goes with my domestic terrorism plan of putting vegetables in all of my rented properties.
So I've done that.
Food.
I've done that with green onions.
Ugh.
You just take the. I know you don't like onions, but you take the white part of the green onion, you just put it in the soil, and it just grows
Magic
forever. You can just
Infinite
snip
food
you
glitch.
you can snip the green part once it grows, and it'll grow back. Like it's a self-healing plant all the time. So I did that in my backyard, and I also had a chamomile plant.
Mm.
And I didn't know that chamomile just fucking spreads like wildfire.
It's a weed. Yes.
So now last year there was one chamomile plant. This year in the backyard of my old house now, they're around the porch, it's just chamomile.
Just flooded.
The chamomile and the green onions have taken over.
I kind of did that with catnip in the front yard. I had it in one planter, and now it's like there's like 6 little ones like in the grass, and then like in the wood chips. I was like, I didn't plant those. I'll just move this pot to the other side so no one thinks it's me. I was like, oops. Well, maybe I'll get some neighborhood cats around.
There you go. And they'll just be getting fucked up in your front yard.
Getting high as shit in my front yard. Fucking cat drug den I got running over here. But I get like the full buds, and then like I clip it, and then I dry it out, and then Dexter fucking loves it.
Yeah.
I haven't bought catnip in years.
All right, Mikey. Now
I think we're out of gas.
All this food conversation has made me quite hungry.
I am realizing that 2 cups of coffee does not substitute as breakfast.
Coffee makes me hungrier.
Is that the problem? I'm not eating before the show, and I'm drinking coffee during the show.
Yeah. But yeah, here we go. We're getting the real story of why Tim moved to escape the chamomile.
It was becoming sentient. I'll need bottled water, Tim.
I just wanted some calming tea, but now it's everywhere.
If you bring that kettle towards me one more time, Tim.
And the crazy thing is, it's already like grown to its full height and sprouted and had flowered. So next year, the amount of chamomile is going to double.
Double, yeah. Or exponentially
the
grow.
Whole backyard will be fucking chamomile. These people have no idea.
I want to plant bamboo somewhere and just let it take over. Because I feel like we need a bamboo forest here.
I've seen some people do that. We planted.
You can't. It's illegal in Illinois. You can't plant bamboo.
we planted a grapevine in our backyard, and that was a mistake.
It takes over.
So we put this little little fence thing for it to climb up.
The trellis.
It climbed up the trellis and then crushed it.
Oh God!
And broke. And then the animals ate all the fucking grapes and spread the seeds all over the fucking yard. So there was grapevines growing up every corner of my deck. Like a fucking weed.
You know why grapevines are so dangerous? Because grapes taste good. If grapes were nasty, you wouldn't have to worry about it. But everybody eats them motherfuckers and then poops the seeds out. That's the problem. Or you got to grow seedless grapes.
That's what the new people who are buying my house are going to deal with. An out-of-control grape situation, an out-of-control chamomile situation, and a mostly controlled green onion situation, although I don't really know.
Oh, man, imagine if it was me that bought your old house and I fucking go in the backyard. I'm like, oh, they had something growing over here. Fucking call the attorney. Fuck this. We got 3 days. Fuck this. No. Cooling off period. No. Get back in this house. I hate onions. Breaking news, Connecticut. Oh, wait. Do I have the thing up? No, I'm not going to worry about it. Breaking news, Connecticut is renamed a chamomile. Cheese man burned in effigy by angry crowds.
If you followed all the instructional material, you just set it and forget it.
That's right. And forget it, because we're out of here.
All right.
We're doing the thing.
Like and subscribe on the YouTubes. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, become a member. Like so many people have become members already. I think it's over 50 at this point. Or go to patreon.com/thebinpodcast and become a patron. And you get all the same stuff.
Thank you to all the lovely people who have super chatted today. And that includes Kay, Alistair, Kurt, Tim Ballum, Questionable Absanity, My Unfinished Chemming Journey, and Darren the Star. I need a phonetic pronunciation because I feel so terrible mispronouncing it. I feel so bad. But yeah, we're out of here. Thank you guys for the support. We love you. Good night.